Welcome back to another social media Q&A. Got a lot of questions today. I'm Model T, and I've got Paul Shinn here to answer those questions for you.
Hey.
Got a lot of them. Got a lot more in storage that we got to get to eventually, but
Yep. Got a
we
backlog.
got a lot in store. One of the first things that we really want to share with you that's pretty exciting, some of you send us things once in a while, whether it's cards or letters, little presents or things that you think might help us. And there is this one man named Dean Jernstrom. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but Dean, you are your family to us.
Dean likes to carve things, and he sends us some amazing things. You have some.
I've got to show you some of them really quickly.
Just some on
Forget
our
to
little
those
table right
questions
here.
because they're just outstanding. He
So
had
snowman.
no idea.
These are from wintertime, though.
Yeah, well, he had no idea that I love decorating my home, our home, with snowmen. He made a whole little family for us in the beginning. I don't know.
So we had these
You see 'em?
decorations at Christmas time and everything.
Yeah, so that was cute. And then I don't know if I said anything about it, but then when it came fall time, he made me another little pumpkin snow looking guy. That was so dang
That's
cute.
funny, yeah.
And then 4th of July at some point came, and he made us this. He said to name him, but I don't think we've named him. We've just been having fun with him. But one of the most latest ones he sent
really
us, I
cool.
mean, this was like the cherry on the top of all things. We opened the box and we were completely blown away.
Yeah.
Just absolutely blown away.
Check this out.
Okay, you know, Mr. Ford's shop and stuff that he started in.
So now we have Shinn's Model
We've
A.
got the Shinn's Model A shop.
How cool, right?
My gosh, that is amazing. And he had this little tiny garage or little
Yeah.
whatever to go with it.
That's like where this.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
man.
like that's where Roadie lives.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dean.
Those are just a few displays of things that he's given us, and I'm so thankful.
Yeah.
So
Thank you,
are
Dean.
you ready?
Sure.
All right, we're going to just hit it hard.
Okay.
Some of these are a little bit old, so I apologize that we have not gotten to them.
Well, they're
but
new to me.
I tried to send out everybody a little thing that we would get to you, get to them,
I
kind of
got
thing.
it. Tina
So
does all of our social media. I don't even
Yeah.
have the passwords.
It's
to
been
it.
crazy. We've been sick. We've been hurt. All kinds of crazy stuff.
Now we're both
And-
hurt.
For all of you who have wished me fast healing and praying for me for my poor knee.
Yeah. So, don't show your knee. Oh, gross.
It looks a lot better.
It
now.
does
It's
look
not
a lot
as
better.
grody looking
Yeah.
now. Yeah, it was pretty gross. It was
it's
kind of
way
split
better
open
now.
and swollen and.
Yeah, get on with it.
Okay, this is wilderness music.
I will do this.
He sent us one on one of our Ford Model A social media, number 16.
Oh, okay.
Q&As.
All right.
So he says the Model A seems to be designed so well, one would think a list of parts that need upgraded or improved would be a very, very short list. Nothing wrong with a 6VP.G
6
system
volt
either.
positive ground.
Okay. Alternator, ouch, I banged my knee.
Don't.
Alternator is one of those beneficial upgrades over the generator. Is it possible to read off that short list on your next Q&A in less than 3 minutes?
Less than 3 minutes. Go. Okay. The only thing I'd so a Model A that you're going to drive a lot, I would go with a 6 volt positive ground alternator, so you have good lights. You don't boil your battery out. I would go with a Mitchell overdrive. And I would definitely go with the cast iron brake drums with the bonded brake shoes for excellent stopping power. And then also add the safety fuse so that you have a fuse in your electrical system. They mount on the starter, or I'm just using the inline fuse holders now, which I forgot where they are now. But the blade type inlines, you saw me on Roadworthy Rescues. I put one in Derek's car. I put one in Gandalf. So look up those videos. And other than that, keep it stock, and they are super reliable.
Nice. Okay.
That was less than 3 minutes.
Okay, that's less than 3 minutes. Right on, dude. And this is Samuel.
Hi, Samuel.
Hey, Samuel. It says, Mr. Shinn's starter is out, and to my surprise, I'm missing the bolt which retains the Bendix spring. I'm assuming it is in the flywheel housing.
Probably.
Is there an easy way of fishing it out?
Yeah, that little tool that I carry. Want me to grab it?
I have a video I'm supposed to share up here, so while he's showing that, there you go.
Well, I pulled out my starter. Pretty easy. But I'm missing the bolt. And that's somewhere in the flywheel area. Not sure how to get it out. Maybe you can give me some direction, sir.
Okay, and he's back.
Flexible tool. It's got a little button thing on one side. You push, and then a little, whatchamacallit, feeler
A little grabber?
grabbers come out. Yeah, but it's magnets on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so what I do is I take the starter out, fish this down the starter hole to the bottom of the flywheel housing, and all of a sudden you hear click. That's when the screw or bolt attaches itself to the magnet, and then I just pull it out. I did this in Reno at the Nationals when we went to Reno. I don't know how many times.
How many times?
Yeah, well, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why it was like the tour for Bendix bolts falling out. It seemed like.
Wow.
So this tool, I have one in the car that I tour in a lot, and I have one in the shop. And I don't remember where I got this. I know they're going to ask. I don't know. I think I got these like at a dollar store or something.
Really?
If I remember right, yeah. These are like grabbers, like if you're, like if you're incapacitated someone, you need to pick things up off the floor or whatever.
Yeah, that seems like so much more than that kind of thing.
Well, I don't remember. I
Especially
got
if it
these a long
has-
time ago.
Sure you didn't get it at Pet Boys or
No,
something?
no, it definitely was not auto parts. It
Wow.
was like a regular, I don't know. It's
Is
some
there a
store.
brand name anywhere on there?
Nope,
You can see?
of course not. It says made in USA though.
Aye, aye, aye.
Yeah, that tells you how old it is.
If I find it like on
Yeah.
Amazon or something somewhere,
Yeah,
if
see if
we
you can find
find
that.
it, I will
But you got to
definitely-
find the one with the magnets.
Yeah.
The
I'll
magnets,
put
yeah.
it on the Facebook page and Instagram and things like that so I can share it with everybody.
Okay,
Or
there
I'll
you
share
go.
it on the next video. one
Sure,
of the
on the
two.
next video. Yeah.
Okay, this is Steven.
Hi, Steven.
Says, hello, Paul. I've been researching the engine stamp on my new, to me, Model A, and I can't seem to find much on the prefix of F. If I go off the 5-digit number after the F, I'd assume it was built in the 1928 if I've been looking at a proper coding chart. But then there is the number 100 stamped below those 5 digits. I've included a photo, and have you seen or heard of anything like this? I can't find anything online
Show
about
it right
this,
here.
blah, blah, blah.
Let's have a look.
All right, so this is what it looks like. So what do you think?
Somebody else stamped that for whatever reason. That's not a factory
Really?
stamping. Yeah, it's not a factory stamp.
Wow, I wonder what in the world they would have done that for.
I don't know. Maybe somebody rebuilt the engine and that's their stamp so that they. I don't know.
So the stamp he's really looking for is still on the underneath.
It'd
where
be
you
on
have
the-
to lift the body.
Yeah, you'd probably have to lift the body. Well, you lift the splash apron on the driver's side, lift the body, lift the splash apron off, and it's right on the top of the frame rail.
Okay.
That's the real number. Whatever somebody stamped on that engine block is whatever. I don't know.
All right, Steve. Well, I hope that helps. I mean,
Sorry.
who knows what that was put there for, but it's obviously not really what you're looking for. So maybe
You know what?
find it the
Take your
old-fashioned way.
take your death wheel to it and just grind it off, and then find somebody in your club that's got a set of stamps and just stamp it with whatever's on your frame.
All right, Claire.
Hi, Claire.
Claire says
That was my grandmother's name on my dad's side.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It says, hi, Paul. My boyfriend and I love your videos. I recently acquired a 1929 Model A pickup. Nice. When we aren't driving it, it seems to be leaking gas from the carb. Any ideas or tips on what this could be? We're new to the Model A community and trying to figure stuff out.
Your fuel shutoff valve probably needs to be cleaned out, and your carburetor float valve probably needs to be cleaned out. The good news is the carburetor float valve is really easy to do. Just take the 9/16 bolt off the bottom of your Zenith carburetor, assuming you have a stock Zenith carburetor.
True.
Take the bottom part of the carburetor off. You'll see the float hanging there, and then there's a little float valve. So take your wrench, take the float valve out, and put it back in.
Have you done a video on it?
I don't know. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I think I have. In one of the Gandalf videos, I think I did. I don't know. I should just show how to do that. Maybe I should just do a video.
You should.
Yeah, I probably
Coming
should.
soon to you on
Coming
Paul's
soon.
channel.
Hey, now I know what to do this weekend.
Yeah, see? There you go. Gave him new input.
Yes. Anyway, so clean that float valve out. That should stop the carb leak. But you still got a fuel shutoff valve and a 28 that's under the passenger side under the gas tank. And
Would it
there's a-
help any if they looked at that one video you made for
Oh yeah,
Roadie?
yeah. That would help. But I actually did clean out a valve. I think it was in the Operation Hoopty series. I don't know. I should make individual little videos, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I have done it. Or you could just replace the valve, which I did in the when termite bait was here.
Oh, termite
I replaced the valve, and I replaced the valve in Roadie, so you could watch that video. Tina will link to it right here.
Yeah.
Here's the
I'll
link.
put a couple of them
See?
and hope
Right
that
here.
one of them helps you. And hopefully based off in the information that he just gave you all together, hopefully
Yeah.
that'll help some too. Kit sent a message to us.
Kit, as in Night Industries 2000.
Maybe, I don't know. No. They're all
Oh.
about, you can read it up there if you want to. I'll put it up there. But the gist of it is they're needing to sell their pickup truck, I believe it is. It's a 29 closed cab pickup. All this different stuff, but what they're wanting to know is what would be the best way to sell one and try to find out what it's worth. I'd appreciate any help. So I had sent them back, so I figured this was a good time to maybe kind of mention that again, that, we don't help with that kind of stuff. We're just legally not able to.
Insurance reasons.
So basically, I'll put up there what my answer was to them, so it can help any of you that have that same question.
But if you're looking to sell, the Mafka classifieds, so go to mafka.com, click on classifieds.
There's Hemmings.com.
Hemmings.com, yeah, but Mafka's free.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it gets viewed
So
by a lot of
Hemmings,
people.
You got to pay for it, huh?
Yeah, you have to pay for Hemmings.
Okay.
Mafka classifieds, it's free to Mafka
Yeah,
members.
Mafka.com.
Mafka.com
If you're a Mafka
slash
member.
classifieds.
Nice.
Yep, and vehicles for sale,
Yeah.
and you can list it there.
And basically, if you're wanting to know, well, how much should I sell it for, just kind of go in there, find that particular type of truck in the same type of condition that yours is in,
Yeah.
just so you can kind of get
That's
an
hard.
idea of what its worth is for the most part, what everybody's asking for.
But you can get
That's
an
all you
idea.
can do.
Yeah, or you know what? Get a hold of a club, local club, and have some people come out and look at it, or I mean, they'll give you a ballpark anyway. But you don't want to rip anybody off, and want it to sell. If it's overpriced, it won't sell. If it's underpriced, you feel like you left money on the table. There's some honor in selling a Model A, especially if you find a new person who doesn't own one. They're going to buy their first Model A. Make them a screaming deal on it. There's a lot of honor in that. It's like, okay, you think in your mind you left money on the table. No, you didn't. You helped a new couple get into the Model A hobby.
It's a nice thought.
That's how I look at it anyway.
A lot of times
We've
we've
sold
done stuff like
we've
that.
sold Model A's for way. So we always try, if we do sell one, we sell it for what we have in it. I mean, sometimes we overpay for it or put way too much in it or whatever, but sometimes we don't. I mean, we've sold a couple Model A's, and you know what I'm talking about, that were way under what they could have sold for, but I don't care. And it's like I can think of two couples right now. We got brand new people into the Model A hobby, made them a screaming deal on a great car, and I have zero regrets.
I think this is Jared.
Hi,
Hopefully
Jared.
I'm
I hope
pronouncing
that's
that's right. So basically he is reaching out on behalf of his grandfather. Is it Raul?
I guess.
Hopefully I'm saying that right.
I'm so sorry, Jared.
Jimenez is the last name. That's nice and
Jimenez.
easy. What?
Jimenez. It's a H. The J is pronounced like a H.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like Juan. It's not Juan. It's Juan.
I suppose that's true.
Yeah, it's
I
like
have heard
jalapeno.
Jimenez, though.
It's not jalapeno. It's jalapeno.
He's a member of Alamo A's. Nice.
That's why the song Jump never got any airplay down in Mexico.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm done.
Anyways, he found a video on Astro Workies YouTube
Oh,
channel.
that's Adrian's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Hey, Adrian. Shout out.
Where he mentions modified steering box and housing connecting to the pitman arm assembly in order to stop oil leaking and improving steering. We were wondering if it would be possible to purchase this part, and if so, how much it would cost, as we have been having problems lately with oil as well as a great deal of steering play when driving.
Oh, I machined that part for him, though. So that I built that sector housing specifically for him, for his box. However, I think you can buy them. You know what? I'm going to consult the Burt's catalog here. Stand by just a moment. I think Burt's Model A Center has them. I don't know. There's a Burt's Model A Center catalog.
Oh, glare, huh?
It's right here. So this is what you want. You want the sector housing with the needle bearings and the seals. There's the part number right there in the Burt's Model A Center catalog right there.
Jared, I hope that really helps you and your grandpa.
Hope it helps you out, Jared.
I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this right, but it's Arneman, possibly. Hopefully that's correct. This person says, can a Model A two-door sedan be unloaded from a box truck with a forks lift?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The forks just have to be long enough to go under the rear and front axle. Pick it up from behind. Okay, the balance point of a two-door sedan is almost right in the middle. So, but you got to have really long forks because the forks are going to have to go under the rear axle and the front axle, but long enough to where the forklift doesn't actually hit the spare tire back there or the back of the car. But yep, absolutely. But they have to go under the rear and front axles, and it will scratch the paint, just so you know. But big whoop, it'll, yeah, you can. Seen it done. Yep, absolutely.
Okay, Dan. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Dan.
He says, what color is your front seat trim, aka Hidem welt, along the back where your front seat cloth
Along the back
would
of your front seat
intersect the cloth of front seat back panel? Or a better question,
Is this a
is it
four-door?
the same color of panels?
Is it a four-door?
That's a good question.
What year is it?
Maybe below it says.
Bugging us as the guiding standards for our Briggs 60C is brown. Oh, so he has a four-door. I have my boomer glasses on. What you need is the judging standards. Okay. Restoration guidelines, judging standards. This is something you can buy from Mafka. And we're going to go over here to interior.
Okay.
And it's going to tell us what we want to know. Interior trim. Okay. So for copyright reasons, we can't just put the book on videos. But I am allowed to tell you what it says. So it's going to kind of depend on the material. So he has a 60C. That is the Steelback 29 four-door brown hairline stripe. Okay, it says here that seats would be plain panel with lap seam. Okay, brown hairline stripe cloth. Okay. Front seats, back sides, quarters, back door pillars, roof side rails, plain brown cloth, head lining, brown nap cotton, windlass trim well. Oh, brown worsted cloth. Whatever worsted is, I don't know. Yeah, so brown worsted cloth. That information is in here. He made kind of a reference. I guess they're confused as to the brown. That is a good question. So this is one of those times where get a hold of the Model A Ford Club of America and ask if they can put you in touch with somebody on the Judging Standards Committee.
Because that's all they do.
And they research this so well, like Doug Clayton and Marco Tataris and Tom Jeans and all the Gary, Bob Johnson, and so many people that we know that are on the Judging Standards Committee. They've devoted their life to finding out exactly what it looked like coming from the factory. They'll be able to tell you, and also be able to turn you on to somebody who has material that looks pretty close that you could use. But I don't really know. I usually just I call Doug Clayton when I have a question.
Hopefully that helps.
Sorry. There you go. There's your answer. Do an oil change here.
We're saying hey to Brent.
Hey, Brent.
He is saying, we're going to have to figure this out on your videos. Let's see how well you know your 200 and whatever videos that you've
I think
made.
I'm up to 230
He
or
says,
something.
do you have a how-to video on changing the water pump on a Model A?
Nope. I
No.
haven't done just that, no.
Wow.
I have changed the water pump on a Model A in a video where I was doing other work.
Do you remember which one it is by chance?
Nope. But changing a water pump's actually very easy. I do plan to do a video on that. But number one, drain all the coolant out, or at least down below where the water pump is on the where the head is. So drain at least 1.5 gallons out, and then take the nuts off. There's 4 of them that hold that on. If you have a 2-blade fan, you can take the water pump off without removing the fan from the shaft. If you have a 4-blade or a 6-blade plastic, you're going to have to pull the fan off, and that's a hassle. with the radiator in. That is a real hassle. So what I usually do is I'll take the hood off, take the hood rods off, and pull the radiator forward as far as I can. Then put a piece of cardboard down there just so I don't biff the radiator. Because, man, if you narf the radiator, you will feel terrible.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Have a hanky ready.
Yeah, I have narfed a radiator and watched water start coming out. And, yeah, it makes you feel really terrible. Ruins your whole day.
Bummer.
So anyway, but if you have a 2-blade fan, you can pull the water pump without having to take the fan off and then put it on the bench. Don't forget gasket and sealer, because the 2 of the studs that go into the head are in the water jacket, and water will come right through the threads. And so use goop. I know people love to chastise me in the web forums for using sealant on stuff like that, but you know what? My water pumps don't leak, so
All right, next. John.
It was a fun day at work. Hi, John.
Okay, they say I have a 29 4-door, and I know you have covered it before, but I can't find where. I want to put seat belts in my car for my kids, and I'm trying to find the best option.
Oh. Well, in a 4-door, thankfully, it's a little bit easier.
That's good.
I mean, this is a 29 4-door here. It doesn't have seat belts, but so since you've got wood frame, wood floors, things like that, it's actually pretty easy. So if you pull the bottom of the seat out and look down, you'll see the tray. At the back of the tray, you'll see wood. So if you get some like aftermarket seat belts, or go down and pick and pull and grab some seat belts out of an 80s or 90s Ford, like I like to do, all you do is literally just drill straight through, and then just use some bolts, nuts, and washers, and just bolt them in right to the floor. Put the seat back in, done. 4 doors are easiest.
Wow. All right, Richard.
Hey, Richard.
First of all, happy Memorial Day. This has been a while. I told you guys.
Yes, it has.
So I'm sorry it's taking so long. Bert's Model A 5 main bolt engine.
Okay.
The new one is a 6-volt.
You can put whatever voltage you want.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But does it come as a 6-volt?
Well, the engine block, it's a kit. You have to assemble it.
Oh, okay.
So it comes, the Bert's block kits come, I think you can get it with the cam, with the crank. I think you can get a flywheel optionally, or it comes with rods. I don't remember. But anyway, you have to buy pistons, you have to buy the oil pan, the oil pump, on and on. So it's a kit. You assemble it. Anyway, but that has nothing to do with the voltage. The voltage is determined by the coil and the ignition system you use. So if you use a coil like you can have a 6-volt coil, and then you put the ballast resistor and run it on 12 volts. So it really has nothing to do with the engine kit itself. So, but you could, any Model A can be 6 or 12 volts, but I prefer to keep them 6-volt positive ground, just way better.
Okay, so basically the new one he's talking about, you determine whether you're going to have it 6 volts or 12 volts, depending on what you
bolt
on
onto
that
it.
Engine.
Right. If I could convert my modern work truck to 6-volt positive ground, I would do it.
Okay.
But I don't think the Duramax computer would work on 6-volt positive ground. I don't think so.
Yeah. You've got some videos on why you prefer 6-volt.
Oh yeah, I was very open about that conversion and why I converted back to 6-volt positive ground in the Athena Operation Hoopty series.
So I'll find that video.
Yeah.
Put it up there. Put it in the description.
There were several videos talking about the electrical in that car though, and why.
Okay.
So actually,
maybe that'll help.
Yep, that should help.
All right. So Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Good name.
He has a 1930 Model A. What would cause it to turn over slow? It's got a new battery. I didn't know if it might have been the timing or a ground issue. Any help would be appreciated.
Could be ground. Make sure that the engine block is well grounded to the frame, and make sure the frame is well grounded to the positive terminal of the battery. The other thing it could be is the starter itself, which is what happened with Gandalf when I thought the battery was no good. Took it down, had it tested. They said, no, this battery's fantastic. And I was like, oh, duh, starter. So I swapped the starter for one I rebuilt previously, and all of a sudden it just turns over like a champ. So when I rebuild a starter, I like to test, and with no load, I run them on 6 volts and see how much current they draw. If they draw over 80 amps, then they're no good. If they draw less than 80 amps, that's my check anyway. If they draw less than 80 amps, then they're good. I throw them on the shelf, put in the car, life is good. But there's other things that can affect it. I mean, if your motor's really tight, if you have a brand new, like a fresh rebuild and it's really, really tight, it'll be hard for the starter to turn it over. Stuff like that.
Okay. Hopefully that helps.
Check the current when your starter's running.
Yeah. All right. So this is Ken.
Hi, Ken.
You may have some good ideas, and I might even have an idea if you don't already mention my idea. But he says he has a 1931 Model A two-door. Just got it on the road. He's still learning how to handle, and one observation is that when he's backing it into his garage, says he finds it impossible to see the back window due to glare. I've tried using the rearview mirror, new, but whether using the mirror or looking over my shoulder, the glare makes it impossible to see through the window. Any suggestions?
Oh, yeah. I remember when I would back my two-door into the shop, I would turn the lights off in the shop for the same reason. I don't have an answer.
Maybe I might. You tell me if this would work well.
All right.
Having a mirror, big mirror, put on the wall so he can judge how much closer he's getting to that wall.
Wow.
Through his...
That's thinking outside the box there. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Maybe. So try that maybe. Marty.
Hi, Marty.
Okay. So there has been a bunch of different things going on. It took so long to get back to him, so I'm sorry about that.
Sorry, Marty.
But he had a dilemma. Can't seem to get a 2-blade fan for his 28 Model A Roadster. Any suggestions? He said in this next one, since it still took a little long since he had sent that one. Oh, he says he did get a 2-blade local from the guy who has a lot of stock and is looking to sell it all. It's all new stuff.
Okay.
What is the size of a fan belt for an A? I've got a 5/8 by 43 inch, and it seems really tight to put on.
Oh, I don't know.
That's what he's saying.
Let me grab one and find out.
Hey,
I've got a
show and
couple
tell.
here. Yeah, show and tell. Let's see. I don't know what size it is, but I'm going to measure it.
Okay. Measuring in progress. While I enjoy my soda.
Let's see here. Here, you got to help me. Because we got to measure around this.
Okay. Helping in progress.
Okay, so help me do this. Okay.
Oops.
Yeah, see, it's going to take 4 hands, maybe 5.
Okay, we'll keep that on top. Let me turn it over.
I'm going to do it right here. Got it.
Okay.
That is 3 foot 6 inches. 3 foot 6 inches. 42 inches. And then the width is...
So that's funny because he's saying his is 43 inches. So that would be bigger. So why is it so tight?
So his is 43. So it's tight. Something's goofy.
Something's definitely goofy.
Yeah. Okay, well, I just measured a belt for Model A's. I stocked several here in the shop, and it was 42 inches around. I do have a 43-inch belt that's got teeth on it. I have a couple different kinds.
Gotcha. So then we got to figure out why his seems tight. Then.
That's what, well, maybe it's not going down into the pulleys enough. So mine were 1/2 inch wide.
And he says it's 5/8.
That's pretty wide. It's probably not going all the way down into the pulleys. Go to like Mike's Affordable or Burt's.
So they just sell them right there in the catalog?
Yeah, you just tell them you want a belt for a Model A, and boom, you get a belt for a Model A. You can even get the fancy one that says Ford on the belt.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
Unfortunately, the Ford ones are foreign made, so I don't use them. If they were made in the USA, I'd have Ford belts on all my cars. So fan belts, 180. Let's see what this says.
Okay.
While we're here. Quality fan belts. Oh, it says 43 inches.
43 inches.
It says
And
40.
yours are 42?
42, yeah.
Oh, funny.
Well, because I'm using alternators and they have a smaller pulley.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But the stock belt, which both will work, are 43 inches long, and it doesn't have a cost.
It doesn't say how wide they are, or does it?
Nope. Nope. Maybe Bert's does. Let's find out.
All right.
Let's
It's like, how do you
find
find how much they are in that one? That's weird.
Well, you have to go online because the prices change so much.
Oh, gotcha.
Page 42.
Which I'll put down in the description the .coms of both of these down there, so you can check out their brochures.
Okay, in the Burt's catalog, it is $11.50. So there you go.
Which still isn't too bad.
No,
But
at the local O'Reilly's, they're like $6.
okay.
For
Well,
typical.
basically getting what size did you say the width is?
Half inch.
Half inch.
wide,
Okay.
yeah.
So if you get a half inch, I think that just might fit. Like
Well,
you
it'll
were
go down in
saying.
the pulleys further, so it won't be so tight.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem. It's just yours is just too wide.
Yeah, it could be.
Hopefully
If the
that's-
belt's too wide, it'll actually wear really bad on the sides, edges, and it'll make that squeaky sound as the belt's going around. Squeak, 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 squeak.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it'll drive you crazy.
Hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
He says because of your YouTube channel, he finally took the big leap.
Yes.
Woo!
Well done.
He bought a 1930 Model A two-door sedan. Says he
okay.
loves the car. It's a blast to drive.
Yeah.
I have just started having an issue with coolant coming through the threads on the head studs.
Okay.
Is there an easy fix for this, or am I looking at it removing the head and using new head gaskets and thread sealer? What do you think?
Well, this is kind of a loaded question. So if it's just coming through the studs, like it's not coming out, like if you're pulling a hill and you're in third gear and you got your foot on the floor and coolant's not pushing out the radiator so you don't have like a head gasket leak, I would not touch that head gasket. Leave her be. If it's working all right, just say goodnight. However, coolant coming out the studs, you may just have to retorque the head. There's always a little leakage of something from the studs, it seems like, always. One or two will have just a little seepage of something. Just carry a rag. It's no big deal.
No? You don't think you should take out the things and put some sealant or whatever like you
Oh, no. If that head gasket sealed, do not untorque it. Leave it. As soon as that head gasket fails, all bets are off. Then, yeah, pull the head, seal everything, make sure there's no cracks. Like if you get a crack between a water jacket and where the studs go through that hole, you'll get seepage like crazy. That doesn't necessarily mean it's bad or that head gasket's bad or anything like that. It doesn't mean that. I mean, even if you have a crack in the head, you can still run that. It'll still run fine. As long as you don't have coolant getting into the cylinders or compression gases getting into the coolant or the water jacket, don't worry about it. Let it roll.
Yvonne,
Hi, Yvonne.
they checked out your video you made about converting alternator to 6 volts, positive ground.
Okay.
Where do I put the cable from the alternator to the positive post of the battery or the negative post of the battery? I know since the alternator have its own internal regulator, I don't need to plug the cable to the regulator of the car.
Why would their car have a regulator in it?
I don't know.
That's
and
weird.
lastly, what size of cable does she need? 10, 12 gauge, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, okay. A lot to unpack here. So in a Model A, a 6-volt positive ground Model A, and you've converted an alternator to 6-volt positive ground, the lug on the alternator would go to the negative terminal of the battery, which is what connects to the starter. That's why that cable goes there. But the way the Model A is wired, I mean, if you want to look at the whole wiring diagram, the negative terminal of the battery, there's the big, huge cable that goes to the starter. That's where the starter switch is. From the starter switch, there's a number 12, usually, somewhere around number 12 wire. It's the cotton one. It's the yellow wire with no stripe. Let's see. The yellow wire goes up to the terminal box. From the terminal box to the amp meter. From the amp meter, it's yellow with a black stripe. It comes down to the terminal box down to the alternator or generator. So it makes that path. So, but that is definitely connected to the negative terminal of the battery through all of that.
I have the song, the neck
Oh
bones.
no, here we go. Yeah.
The neck bones connected
I knew you
to
were
the
going to do that.
shoulder bone. I got the whole song going through my head while you
It's
said
like I'm living with Blue's Clues now.
Oh no.
Okay, so
Okay.
there's your answer. Connects to the negative terminal of the battery.
Okay, what size wire? Does it just come with
Stock,
the whole
it'll
thing?
be like number 14, number 12. I use number 10 if I have it. I have a lot of number 10 wire that has the stock colors, the factory colors on cotton outside. So it looks like factory wiring. It's just a little bit bigger. So I wire my cars with 10 gauge just because there's less resistance that way. I mean, it looks stock, but if you look at it real close, you go, wait, that's a little bigger than normal. But like if you buy a wiring harness from Bratton's, Bratton's has one of the best wiring harnesses there are. And if you buy it from them, I think it's number 12 wire, which is still perfect. That's fine.
Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, he says, I was told I cannot run 29 wheels on 3031 drums. Can I change out the drums on the 3031 to run the taller 29 wheels? I mean, will it work?
The drums are the same.
It is?
Yeah. The hubs might be different, like the early 28 or the early and 28 hubs, rear hubs look different than 29 through into production. The fronts all look the same, but the drums are all exactly the same. Whoever told you that, wrong.
Sure, I'm glad you know all that ear stuff.
Yeah, the wheels won't get loose as long as the studs don't come loose in the drum. So like we've had a car in my shop recently where one of the rear tires flew off the car on a tour, and come to find out their left rear tire kept coming loose over and over and over. So I pulled the drum off and the studs weren't pressed through the hub and drum properly, and they wiggled.
Oh no.
And so I just swapped out another drum and swapped it out, put it on there, torqued it, problem solved.
Jeez, that's amazing. Glad at least it was something simpler to fix.
It was simpler, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, better than their tire flying off the car.
Yeah, then you have to go get it. That's the walk of shame when you're going to get your tire that came off your car.
Didn't it create damage?
Yeah, it tweaked the left rear fender a little bit, and the backing plate got scraped.
Ouch. Yeah. No fun.
No.
All right, George. Hey.
Hi, George.
Says, what do you use for sway on the paint?
Spray.
Sorry.
Oh, spray.
Hey, he put a correction.
Okay.
What does he use for spray on the paint? And I see you use a white bottle on tires and rubber mats.
Oh, that's
The
303, yeah. So on paint, I use dry washing guard.
Yeah.
Classic. I don't use the Ultra Ion. I use the Classic dry washing guard. This is just your typical spray on, wipe, and then use microfiber cloths, wipe, clean, and then flip it over and buff it off.
Put it down in the description.
Yeah, this is like miracle product here for paint. I mean, look at my 4-door. That's original paint, and it looks amazing.
Gorgeous.
It looks amazing.
For as old as that paint is,
Yeah.
original,
And then
it's pretty dang nice.
The tires and mats, I use 303 protectant, which Tina will put a link to. There's one of your hairs flying
Down in
around the bottle here.
Is there?
Yeah, I don't know if the camera.
That's a web, homie.
Oh, is it a web? I thought it
Yeah.
was one of your hairs. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Same thing. It was white and long, so I thought it was yours.
All right, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, Jim. This is simple, I think. Is there a place he can get a 31 coupe carpet?
We're kind of running out of options right now. Classique is still doing interiors, but Lee Chadderton is probably your best bet. So the carpet, because it's the carpet in like a deluxe coupe, it would be mohair, which is basically goat hair. So, I mean, you used to be able to just call a Baron Bonnie and poof, they'd send you one.
And now they're gone.
Now they're gone. So Classique or Lee Chadderton.
Does Lee Chadderton have a website or a phone number they can reach him?
Phone number you can reach. Yeah, he advertises on Mafka and all that. You can put the information down below.
I'll put it down below in the description. Both the Classique and his way to get a hold of him.
Yep.
Hopefully that helps.
Call him up, tell him what year, what type of car you have, what color you want.
Awesome. All right, Patrick.
Hi, Patrick.
He says, I think one of your project cars have the same color as mine, and I am having a hard time finding the color code resources. My body man says he would love to have it as a starting point for paint match. Do you know the codes for the 29 pick attached? Put it up there.
I can't even tell. Can you make it bigger? I need the paint, not the wheel. It looks like Tacoma Cream.
Yeah.
But Tacoma Cream wouldn't have been on 29 wheels. It would have been on 30 or 31 wheels and stripes. So here's let me give an answer that may or may not help.
Well, doesn't Mafka, the site, have a paint chip thing that you can
No,
order?
they have a book.
Oh, book.
and it's called the Model A Finish Guide.
All right.
However, I have found problems with this.
Oh.
So this is the actual Ford paint manual, and this has color chips in it and says what they are, and then you can also reference the paint code looking at these. This is the Ditzler paint codes, which you can cross to PPG or whatever. So for instance, let's look at Lombard Blue, my sport coupe over there, my beloved sport coupe. That is Lombard Blue right there, where my finger is touching, okay? That's the actual Ford color. The Mafka color guide, if I show you what Lombard Blue looks like, you'll go, no way. Not a chance. Here it is. There's Lombard Blue. Okay, so according to the Mafka paint guide, this is Lombard Blue. Now,
The one in the paint chip is
okay,
much
the
darker.
actual Ford Lombard Blue, which is where the tip of my finger is, not even close. Yeah, the camera can pick it up.
Okay.
Not even close. The new Mafka paint guide, I think, is wrong. I think. It's just me. This is almost green. That's not even blue. And then if you hold this color to my sport coupe, not even close. But you hold the actual Ford chip up to my coupe, spot on. So it depends on how close you want. If you're going to do judging, blue ribbon judging, then use the Mafka book, because that's what the judges are going to use and compare to. But if you just want your car to be right, use the Ford book. I think Ford chips are closer.
So if he was say he wants to be within judging standards, he likes to show his car.
Buy the Mafka
what
book.
color do you think would match that best?
That's Tacoma Cream.
Yeah, Tacoma Cream would match that best.
Yeah, but if he was getting this judged as a 29, the wheel should be black.
Okay.
If he was getting it judged.
Does it show what little code it is for that color? The Tacoma
The
Cream?
Ford manual does. The Mafka one does not.
Oh.
Yeah, so let's look up Tacoma
They
Cream.
have Tacoma Cream.
Tacoma Cream is right here, number 1245.
It looks almost tan.
I know it does, but that's Tacoma Cream right there. And the paint code would be 33-36. Oh, no, correction. No, wait a minute. Tacoma Cream is 1245. So we go back here and we look up 1245. Okay, there's 1245 Tacoma Cream. Okay, there's a lot of information here. I'll put it up for the camera. So can you see where it says Tacoma Cream right here? And then look at, there's the paint codes right there for Tacoma Cream. There you go.
Hopefully that helps.
I hope that helps,
That
yeah.
would be beautiful. All right, we're moving on to Marty.
All right, hi Marty.
Hey, Marty. All right, he says, do you have any videos on replacing tie rod ends and most of the steering hardware in the front end of A's? I'm starting to go through my cars to see what problems exist in the steering. The tie rod should not be able to rotate, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one that does.
Oh.
One has slack, loose rod connecting the steering box to the tie rod. Thought you might have a
That's the
video
drag
on
link,
how
or-
all that comes apart.
I did a video on replacing a drag link, a stock drag link, with an adjustable drag link. That shows how all those connections work. So the tie rod ends, the drag link ends, they work exactly the same. But yeah, tie rod ends should not move, because once you lock those down, I mean, if they move, your car is going to be all over the place.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Don't want that.
No, you don't want that. So, I mean, you may have a worn tie rod end. You may have a stripped tie rod. I mean, there's lots of possibilities there. But anyway, check out that video on how to install an adjustable drag link. That shows exactly how all that works and how it goes together.
All right, Benji.
Hi, Benji.
Hello. They converted a 12-volt alternator to a 6-volt positive ground, but when connecting, we keep blowing the fuse. Can you give me an idea what we're doing wrong? Gave a phone number, but I blocked that off.
Okay, if they converted it, then they have to change the regulator and the diodes. So if you're switching from negative to positive ground, that's the diode stack in there. If you left the stock diodes, they're still negative ground. You've got a positive ground, a regulator in there, that'll blow the fuse. That's almost a direct short when you hook it up.
Wow.
Yeah, so you got to change both of those. In the video, it shows you the part numbers. I put the boxes up on the screen so you can see the part numbers that we use.
Oh.
There's 3 major components you have to change Because you're not only changing the voltage, you're changing the polarity. So you're going from negative ground to positive ground, and you're changing from 12 to 6 volts. So 3 major parts to that. And you have to change all 3. There's no shortcuts there.
Okay. Do you know what video that was?
It's how to convert a GM single wire alternator to 6 volts positive ground.
Put a picture right there.
Trademark TM.
And I'll put the link down there.
Copyright.
Tyler.
Hi, Tyler.
Hello, Tyler. They had some stuff up above. I kind of got rid of it. Can't remember if it's personal or if it was just a lot of stuff that was nice, but
Okay.
you know, a lot of information.
Might have been.
So wants to get the car to a better roadworthy state to where he can drive it since it's been 60 plus years since the last time he's driven it.
Okay.
I've been searching everywhere for a video on or a diagram on how the e-brake goes back together. It has the push button on the top and it's on the right side of the shifter. If you could help, that would be great.
You need the red book.
The red book.
The Les Andrews red book.
Okay.
Link below.
Link below.
Yeah, you can buy it on mafka.com in the store or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. But you need that book. That shows a breakdown. It's the whole, you know, piece by piece
Looks like
drawing. Yeah, it looks like that.
And the
over
link below is down there.
there. Yeah, you need that.
Yeah. So the red book is a fantastic book. It's going to give you so much information.
Yeah, there's some things I haven't done a video on just because it's in the red book. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. The last person for today, anyway, is Nina.
Nina!
Nina. All right. They have a 1930 Model A coupe,
Okay.
and the front motor mount is off to one side of the mount hole. What is wrong with the car? I bought it last year and sent the engine for rebuild. I thought the old mount was bent, so I bought a new one. It doesn't hit the hole either. Please help.
See, the first thing I thought is a bent motor mount, but if she replaced it. Huh.
Unless they say they did and then gave her
yeah,
back
that's-
her thing without.
That's possible.
right thing.
The other thing I'm thinking is the front, that cross member. That front cross member is so critical. If it's not dead center, like if let's say there was a crack or something, and it's pretty common, you see a lot of Model A's with cracked front cross members and then all kinds of crazy repairs on them. But like you can weld it, but I've seen them where they put a patch panel in and re-drill it, and if it's off by, you know, 1/8 of an inch, it's going to throw the geometry off. It's actually kind of a critical component there, that front crossmember. So this is one of those times you really need a club, somebody to look at your car and see if there's something. Now, if that is the case, it's not the end of the world because you can just fix it again and re-drill it in the right spot. Not the end of the world. We've had to repair front crossmembers before. And, I mean, it's kind of hard because at least at the frame level, if you're doing like a factory level type repair, you have to drill out the rivets because it's riveted in on the sides, replace the crossmember, new rivets. You have to get them white hot and use a tool that smushes the rivets and then paint it and all. I mean, it's kind of a long drawn out. So what a lot of people do is they take a shortcut and just repair the crack or the hole and keep the crossmember in place and then re-drill it. So chances are it might have been repaired and re-drilled with the hole in the wrong spot. I'm guessing. That's just a guess.
Yeah.
But you need someone to get eyeballs on it. That would be very, very helpful.
Hopefully you belong to a club and they have helpful people. If you don't, look for a club in your area.
If there's one nearby.
It's so helpful. It's not just helpful, it's fun, it's all kinds of good stuff. You develop a new family.
Yeah, you do.
Awesome.
Well, a lot of people, they're like, oh, I don't join clubs because of, you know, whatever. And it's like, okay, this is one of those, and I'm with you. I'm not a joiner.
He's
all right?
like, I will never
Never.
belong to any
Ever.
clubs of any kind.
Right.
How many clubs are you belonging to?
We now belong to 3 Model A clubs. Well, and the National Club.
Yeah.
Okay, but
And it's fun.
because of the help, I'm not just getting help, I'm also helping other people too. Actually,
Ended up being one of the best things we ever did.
I think it is. It took I would not hang around people at all, ever. And now all of a sudden I'm like hanging around people and enjoying it, actually, you know, because they're like my people, you know.
Yeah.
So I know that there's a lot of people, like they hesitate joining MAFCA, for example, because, well, what good does it do me? Well, actually, come to find out, a lot. So, I would not quit Model A Club. I mean, I would maybe quit 2 of the 3 maybe, but I wouldn't quit all 3. Never.
Yeah, you got to at least have one.
At least one. Yeah, we just go overboard with 3 clubs.
But we have so much fun with each of them, you just can't get rid of one.
No. And the people in the different clubs, there's some, people that I just really adore in each of the clubs.
Yeah.
So, if you want to go do stuff with those people, you have to be in that club.
Yeah. So I hope this helped you guys today, and those of you who might have those same problems.
I hope that helps.
Yeah. Just check out the links down below
Hey,
in the description.
If they have questions, what do they do?
Hey, if you have questions, you can ask them in this video, even.
In the comments?
In the comments.
Wow.
You can ask them on Facebook, on his Paul Shinn, the Ford Model A page on Facebook there. And you can go to Instagram.
Instaface.
Instaface. I also have my Model T Shinn, or Tina. Well, no, what is it?
I don't know.
I'll put it up there.
How would I know?
I'm so
I
tired,
barely know
can't
what mine
even think.
is. I don't know.
But I'll put all the different sites. You can ask questions wherever. They also have the Model A Tech questions.
At modelatechquestions at gmail.com.
Gmail.com.
There is a team of Model A current, former, etc. Technical directors that will answer your questions. And Rick Black is he answers about 90% of the questions.
Does he?
Oh, he's good. He's really good.
Yeah. So it's we can only get to so many.
Right.
Due to still working full time for both of us. So
if you want a really
gives
quick
us some
response,
help. If you really need that help and you just don't have time and you're really trying to get going to do something.
Yeah, one of these questions was from Memorial Day, so
I know, I feel so bad. So you guys take care, stay well. God bless. We love you.